Moving on, Charlie, let's talk a little bit about some of your influences. I mean, you played against many great players, but more importantly, your upbringing as a player through those years. Where did you get your start? Who were those people that helped foster that gift in you?
Yeah, much of what I teach at Advanced Hoops in the philosophy of work ethic, I have to give credit to like a Jeff Lebo, Dave Lebo.
Was it that he blocked your shot or tore you
No. Actually, I never really had a chance to play against him.
Right.
I was a little younger than Jeff, but as a 5th through 8th grader, getting to every one of his high school games and seeing him play, even though Carlisle was, not necessarily my alma mater or anything, but just hearing him speak at camps, hearing him lay out his personal work ethic was huge influence on me. But I have to go, my start came as a 4th grader. I had a 4th grade season in the CYO where I was made fun of because I was very clumsy, very uncoordinated, and a female basketball player was working out at the local court every single day. And I felt like I needed somebody to help me out, somebody to teach me the game. She took me under her wing and went ahead and taught me ball handling, shooting. I have a love for girls basketball because I got my start through that lady who took time to teach me as a 9-year-old. It taught me a work ethic. And the next year I was the leading scorer on my basketball team in that one off season of just good instruction.
So she's first on your Christmas card list. You need to send her one. You know, a female basketball player took time when you were in 4th grade. That's still been something that sits with you. The advancement of females in general in our area, basketball and the girls' game. Can you talk a little bit about special players that we have now that we were watching, girls from the past?
The Kelly Jaycott, sophomores that has major college recruiters just coming to the Cumberland Valley to see her play, and the girls that come to the Valley are tourists and all those girls, and girls that I've had a chance to be involved with in a training setting as well. Girls like Allie Daly, who's scored 1,000 points at St. Francis. Now she's coaching at the college level, Division I coach. And recently, in the last couple of years, Victoria Blackburn, Jackie Faulkner, who's playing at Penn right now. Victoria's over at Sacred Heart. Brianna Sy, Brianna Mack, playing in Maryland in Division I. This year, I had a chance to spend a lot of time with 2 of the area's most talented players. Meg Smith from West Perry is going to probably score close to 2,000 points in her high school career this year. Carly Richardson, probably from Palmyra, the most all-around leader, girl with work ethic, skills, just probably the pure role model of the game that we've been fortunate enough to spend time coaching and getting to know over the last so many years.
Another player that I feel like is so underrated is having a tremendous year. She worked so hard in the off season is Danielle Atkinson from Lancaster Catholic. She's leading her team tremendously right now. There's not a weakness in her game. Danielle can pretty much do anything on the court, and she's very deceptive, plays at a higher level than she's perceived to play at, and colleges are starting to notice, the area is starting to notice, and she's on a roll. And I see great things in store for her future.
In 13 years, can you talk a little bit about the relationship that you have started to develop, you and your staff, with area coaches? I mean, it's been very instrumental in a lot of things in our capital area, but can you talk about how that's developed over time?
Yeah, and I think we both coached high school ball. I had a 4-year stint as a head coach and a couple years as assistant. But when you're a high school coach, these are your kids. You feel responsible for everything you recommend. And you got to make a good recommendation, especially in the climate of protect youth sports, protect kids, protect families, and influences on kids. So I walked into this very sensitive, knowing the job and how hard the job is of a high school coach. So Advanced Hoops, as philosophy and everything we do, is centered around trying to complement what the high school coaches are doing with those kids. And the coaches have received this pretty well. And I think we're at a point now where we have strong buy-in for aspects of our program. And some coaches, And schools utilize our program in different ways than others based on their needs.
Right.
And not every school has the same quartet of an arsenal of players where they can create quality open gyms to do quality 5-on-5s, or they may not have, some coaches tell me, look, I don't deal with shooting, can you help a couple of these kids with shooting? That's fine, So I think if our program continues to provide the opportunities for kids, I think, and continues to take that relationship and put it in the right perspective, area coaches will continue to grow with us and respect what we're doing. And I think we have to keep doing a good job in that relationship. I think the biggest thing we do is we provide quality showcase basketball for the boys and girls at the highest level that the coaches can count on. That if we say we're going to get to those tournaments, we get to those tournaments. And we're able to plug those kids into the coaches' database and to get them contacted, colleges contacting them, and help that ball rolling, because not every high school coach has the experience or the resources, or they're not doing that on a regular basis like we are. So if we can bring those contacts and help bring college connections to and evaluations to these high school kids, that's helping them. So we hope that that's one of the biggest things we can bring to the table.
As an observer on the outside looking in, those are some of the things I've seen you and your staff develop. But you keep mentioning the word relationship, and it's important in Advanced Hoops. But how about the relationship between Advanced Hoops and High School Sports Live, how it's really just fostered over this last 5 years? I mean, big, crazy cheering sections, enthusiastic players wanting to play a little bit on TV, getting that opportunity. Can you talk about that direction, where that's going, and what the forecast for this upcoming year continually be?
Well, and I'm a believer that in this area, we have some of the best high school sports in the country.
Right.
And we definitely have some of the best high school sports in the state. When you look at basketball, there might be one conference or two in the state that might be considered better than our area. We put a lot of teams in state finals, district championships, and all that kind of stuff. But so that needs to be showcased. And High School Sports Live is to bring exposure to these student athletes and these coaches that are working really hard. And so I'm proud to have initiated it. I'm proud to have partnered with the 27 News and now the Patriot News and these Sentinel, and to help build the promotion. And Todd, you've been a big part of that. And as we're moving into York this year, and we see that expanding into Lancaster the following year, I think it's appropriate. And I'm proud that we moved into wrestling and football, because again, wrestling, we're the best in the country. Central Pennsylvania is the best in the country in wrestling. Why not put it on TV? And naturally, that's been a one step at a time process. One player last year got a Division I scholarship from the High School Sports Live link. They sent it to the coach at the college, and they offered him a full scholarship from that link, from what the parent had shared with us. And naturally, with NCAA regulations and all that, you got to be careful about how you present that. But for the most part, what an opportunity that local colleges, even 1 hour away, can be watching the games and recruiting players from the broadcast, and they don't even have to get out to the games.
Exactly.
It's an asset.
Yeah. Let's talk. You're watching it at home, and you're like, okay, sign me up. I'm ready to go. I don't have any players at home, unfortunately. But how does a young man, a young woman get signed up? I know you have individual classes, skill building, then you have the AAU component. Where do they go? What do they need to do to get signed up?
Well, we have a full-time staff at Advanced Hoops. I mean, guys like Ben Dudek, who have last 5 years have been with the program, has done a tremendous job in building our girls program, taking it to another level. Helps a great shooting instructor. Just has a great rapport with families in the program, and organizational skills has helped take the program to another level. We mentioned Gerald Jarman earlier and his ability to teach point guards. Coaches like Scott Richardson, Aaron Yancey.
And Mike Pilsitz, who won a state championship at Steel High, does a really good job pushing players. And a new addition is John Breeden, former Division I point guard at Siena, currently playing some semi-professional basketball, in the gym a lot with the kids, and just a great addition to our staff.
You had 36 AAU basketball teams. Let's talk how that aids in the recruiting, how it gets players to the next level. How do you see that affecting or helping kids in the future?
Well, AAU basketball doesn't just help college recruiting, because a lot of kids that play AAU they do it to get competition, and they do it to get the playing experience they need to possibly make their team or whatever. So that'll continue, and that'll grow as the need is there and as the demand is there.
And I am excited, Todd, that we have organized our AAU this year into national showcase level teams that are going to be powered by Under Armour. We're really excited about that, to get the confidence in that organization, to get access to invite-only Under Armour tournaments, tournaments you can't get into unless you have that relationship, and then also gold level and silver level for 5th through 8th grade kids that want to play either regional or across the Mid-Atlantic. And along those lines, Todd, I have engaged recently with Sam Sutton from York area. He runs an AAU program called All Sports Ren, and he's recently been hired by my program to do advanced hoops in York. Sam and I are going to be partnering to take advanced hoops training to York, and on the AAU side of things, partnering to bring the All Sports Ren AAU and the Advanced Hoops AAU together so that we can combine our efforts to expand our reach and putting elite level high school boys and high school girls teams on the floor to represent not only York or Harrisburg, but the entire region, Lancaster, and greater Pennsylvania at a higher level.
A 7th grade boy or girl comes into you and says, Coach Fortney, I've been cut from my team, but I think I have an opportunity to make it next year.
Yeah.
I need some shot help. I need to be able to put the ball in the hole. Can I take you inside that conversation with maybe where you direct them?
Well, first off, that player may think shooting is their ticket to making the team. But I think in most cases, players don't make teams because there's more that needs to be done.
Right.
To become a better athlete. And Rob Kennedy at Hoop Group talks about this. You need to become 1/3 of your time should be focused on becoming a better athlete. Strength training, quickness, agility.
Okay.
1/3 should be on competitive game experience, which we can provide through instruction and 5-on-5s and AAU. And the other third needs to be heavy skill focused.
When does your over 40 league start? I'm going to go on the record to give Mr. Fortney Sr. some credit. He has toolboxes. Your dad can pull out hammers, wrenches, and fix anything. Advanced hoops, if I was to ask you to pull 3 things out of that big toolbox to end on, when you're reaching into the toolbox of advanced hoops, what are those 3 major components, or even one major component that comes out of that toolbox?
Well, a couple I'm thinking of right now is the ability to use the triple threat, the jab. The offensive footwork is very inconsistent with kids I see all over the area.
Right.
Even college kids.
Yeah.
The mid-range game, to be able to shoot off the dribble. So the footwork aspect of it is huge, and I think we excel at that. And that mirrors my background as a player. That was what I excelled at. Also, balance and fundamental shooting. The basketball, our shooting development has spoken for itself. The number of kids that are considered tremendous shooters over the years have spent significant time with us. There's many Thanksgiving mornings where I got that text from that high school player, my shot's off, and we met before Thanksgiving meal just to get them ready for their next game. That's the kind of thing that drives me as a developmental coach.
Right.
And then thirdly, I would say guiding families with the right mentality. There's a lot of players and families that come thinking the grass is greener on the other side,
right. Yeah.
Or they may not understand the recruiting process, they may not understand their high school coach's methods, or to be able to bring them back down to earth, to say you're doing the right thing, or you're in the right place, or you just need to keep working harder, or do this, that, or the other. To give them guidance is probably something that we do on a regular basis to help them understand the process and support maybe what their current grassroots high school program's doing. Brings us a lot of joy to be able to be a part of that process.
Right.